All right, we're live. All right, what's going on, Card Nation? This is John with Cardinal Craze. Today on the show we have Jay Davis. Jay, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How are you?
Outside of suffering some technical issues, which I know some of card maybe like one or two Card Nation may have seen at the opening, I'm doing fantastic. Definitely gearing up for this cold weather. Definitely gearing up for all the snow, ice we're gonna get in the Ville, and I mean all of Kentucky too. So Jay, you are one of the most recent commits to the University of Louisville 2023 class. You are a up and coming 4-star, maybe even 5-star commit. I mean, like, what is going on?
I'm just excited. It almost feels surreal because you dream about these moments as a kid, and it's just my dreams turning into reality. You still work to be done. So
So, you committed recently to the University of Louisville. Actually, just was it yesterday?
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
it
just,
was just yesterday. So what? So this is a surreal moment for you, correct?
yes, yes, sir.
And you were originally being recruited by Coach Nick and Coach Hodge, correct?
Yes.
So let's kind of talk about that. Open up to us and kind of like just let us know from with your words, why did you commit to the University of Louisville and what made your decision?
It kind of I don't know how to explain it. It's like we had a connection as soon as we started talking to each other, and I started like noticing it almost immediately when they started recruiting me, and they had been recruiting me the hardest for like the longest time. I think they might have been my eighth offer, my eighth or my seventh offer. So they had been recruiting me for a very long time, and the connection was very genuine. It was nice, and I felt like I could open up to them. And so I felt like it was just a matter of time before I got up on campus. And when I got up there, I just knew that like Louisville was the place I wanted to be at.
So you recently went on a visit and you got to meet the rest of the 2023 class and even some that might even be committing here soon. But let's definitely talk about that offer list real fast. Okay, you had SEC schools, you had Big Ten schools, you had just a ton of schools, and I'm just going to name a couple right off the top. You had Michigan, Ole Miss, TCU, Arkansas, Georgia Tech. I mean, you had NC State, you had Tennessee coming after you, and yet you chose the University of Louisville.
Mhm.
All right, so let's kind of look into that real fast. During your visit, you met with Pierce Clarkson, you met with Adonijah Green, you met with a host of others. Tell us, what was that experience like?
It was fun. Well, since like I met them, I knew we were gonna be special because when I went up there, I kind of already made up my mind, but I just hadn't told anybody yet. But they were just telling me how special we could be, and me getting added to the list, it'll just be crazy, and we can start recruiting bigger players and better players, and change the culture up there.
Well, you definitely have been, I mean, hitting the recruiting trail. You've been getting a lot, you got a lot more recruits on board. And I hear there's a sneak peek at another commit that Clarkson tweeted out not that long ago. All right, and you guys got a lot of silent commits right now. That's one of the key things is that so there we have players right now who have silently committed, who aren't just ready, and I think that's going to be exciting going forward. And how many would you say? I believe I counted. Was it two or three silent commits you may know of?
I think it was like two.
Two. Okay, I'm
Two.
trying to remember which ones, but Card Nation, be ready. These guys are just amazing, phenomenal players. So let's talk about recruiting. Some of these players, we're not going to name specific ones you're going after right now, but let's just kind of talk about it from your perspective. What is one of the most difficult things about recruiting other players or maybe it could be one of the easiest things that you find?
But one of the hardest things is like, cause a lot of people have their mindset on one school, and I feel like that's like the hardest thing, getting them to like flip almost. So that's definitely the
Mhm.
hardest thing. The easy part is when you get them to flip and start thinking about Louisville. And you just got to get them on board.
Okay. So let's kind of talk about your relationship real fast with the with Coach Nick and Coach Hodge. All
Mhm.
right, Coach Nick, for instance, what can you say about Coach Nick that really stood out to you?
Man, he's funny. He's a funny guy. He's real funny. He likes to joke a lot. I learned that definitely from being up there this past Saturday. That he's real funny, and Coach E, he's real cool. He's funny also. So they're just two jokesters.
And that's great to hear. And Coach E, he's one of the newest recruiting members to the staff. What can you say a little bit about him?
That's my guy. I, I've been talking to him for the longest time. Actually, a lot longer than people think. Before they had offered me, I think it might have been like maybe three weeks, maybe a month and a half. I have been talking to him, just him alone. So that's my guy. He's real cool. He's honest, and I feel like he has your best interest at heart. So
That's great to hear. And I'm glad that, I mean, he's just been so down to earth and he was recruiting you even before.
yeah.
So, one of the things you and I had talked about was this class is going to be one of the biggest recruiting classes Louisville is probably, I mean, Louisville's ever seen.
Mhm.
Now, some people might reference the 2011 recruiting class or even the Teddy Bridgewater recruiting class, but I think this is going to be your all special, the one that's just going to break all the records at Louisville for recruiting.
Mhm.
All right. So, what could you say to Card Nation when it comes to what is in store?
Uh, I can't really say anything.
Well, like, can you tell them like just be ready, or
Yeah,
you guys are just yeah?
it's gonna be special, and I think y'all gonna love this recruiting class. We got some big players coming in, so y'all can expect that. But that's about it. Really, just get ready. We gonna shock the world.
Yeah. Yeah, you
World.
guys are definitely going to shock the world with this one. So let's kind of dive in to some more of the top head coaches. Now, did you get a chance to really get to know Coach Brown or even get to sit down and have a conversation with head coach Satterfield?
Yeah, I got to sit down with Coach Sat and Coach Brown for a little bit while I was up there. I had talked to them a couple of times while I've been on the phone, and Coach Sat actually came to my high school. Maybe last Tuesday, I think it was. He was at my high school, and we talked for a little bit.
So let's talk about Coach Sat for a minute. What it was like meeting him, and how did you feel meeting the head coach of the University of Louisville?
It was fun. It was fun. I really didn't expect him to be down there. I think Coach E had texted me. He was like, um, "We got a special surprise for you. He's coming down to see you," and he didn't tell me who it was. And I was kind of surprised when I seen it was Coach Sat, and I got to talk to him before track practice. So yeah.
Okay, well that's great to hear. Um, so Coach Satterfield has been described as a down to earth kind of individual, easy to talk to, and will sit there and just kind of listen to you because he wants to get to know who you are.
Yeah, that's true. He's
Oh,
a he likes to listen to people. He likes to get to know you as a human, and that actually helped my decision because I feel like he wanted to like help me become a better person off the field.
okay, that's great to hear, and I'm glad that you committed to the University of Louisville. I'm glad that you have such great relationship with the coaching staff, great relationship with your other commits. Can you comment on any other of the other commits like Adonijah Green or Jeremiah Collins or even Pierce Clarkson or even Martin Height or Martell Height? Sorry.
I don't know about some of the like all the other commits, but I know me and Martell, me and him, we've known each other before, and we had talked about going to Louisville while we were there, and even before. And we talked on the field because we played each other last season, so we had talked about it, and just we just been talking. They're cool. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear, and we'll definitely try and get them out on the show as well. So, coming out of Georgia as a safety, you're about to be rated as a 4-star prospect. Let's kind of talk about that. All right. So, what was the most difficult part about playing safety throughout high school? And
Um,
did you have any other positions?
no, I had only played safety through high school. This is actually gonna be my first year I'm playing offense. for my team. Um, my career through high school is like a lot different than a lot of people because I played with Travis Hunter, and he taught me a lot of different things. But I think the hardest thing was like slowing the game down and processing the game, and that was it. Really, just other than that, I was just out there having fun playing.
Now, Travis Hunter, is that your head coach or your position coach?
Oh, Travis Hunter is the number one player in the nation. Jackson,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So I played with him, and so I feel like that made my life a lot easier coming up and learning from him. But like learning the game is the hardest part, really.
All right. So it looks like we got a comment. Looks like it's Brandon Franklin, and he said, "Let's go."
Let's
All right.
go.
Well, well, Brandon, we're definitely. Oh, let's see. Looks like you said Bell did pretty well against him.
Yeah,
Not
he did. He's a baller. He's a baller. I can tell you that he's a baller.
well. That's great to hear. Now, do you think Bell's going to get out there for a visit to the University of Louisville?
Yeah, I believe he signed. I think he signed to Louisville. I'm not 100% sure. I think he's committed though. And
Oh, he is. Hmm. What's
yeah,
his last name?
Bell.
Oh, it's Bell. Oh, okay. I thought that was first. Oh goodness, I thought it was the first name for a second. Okay, so we'll talk more about that later, and I'll look into that. I'm probably just tripping on which one he. I'll have to think about that. Let me look. All right, so for the most part, Jay. So, what is one of your favorite routes to play? Now, you just recently came back from a 7-on-7. Can you kind of open up a little bit about that and tell us how that went and what you love specifically about doing these one-on-one situations, or well, 7-on-7 situations?
Well, in 7-on-7, I just like to have fun. I don't take it too serious because we don't got pads on. But my favorite route to guard is like a fade ball, like the fade
Hmm.
ball, the go balls, the post routes, because I feel like those are like the easiest to read. And when the ball's in the air, you can't have it in the air for too long when I'm around in the area, because I'll go up and get it. But I like jumping high, jumping over people, and head tapping them. So that's what I like to do.
Well, that's great to hear. So let me ask you, what was your record last season? Did you have more interceptions or um, pass blocks? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my stats last year, I think I ended with 65 total tackles, and 59 of those were solos. I had 3 interceptions and 8 pass breakups, and I had
Okay.
2 forced fumbles.
All right. Well, that's great to hear. So let's kind of talk a little bit about Louisville for a second. Let me ask you, what do you plan on majoring in?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Mom, I haven't really decided yet. I haven't really decided. I haven't put that much thought into it, but definitely something in the business or sports med in that area. Something.
Well, those are two respectable degrees to go after, regardless of what you choose. Maybe you could do both. Could do kind of a hybrid.
Mhm.
All right. So, Jay, and I did look it up. It was Chris Bell that you're talking about, the wide
Yeah.
receiver. Yeah. Okay. It kind of tripped me for a minute. I was kind of thinking to myself, like, wait, 2023 class? I'm like, wait, hold on. All right. So, for the most part, Jay, thank you so much for coming out on the show, telling us a little bit about yourself, talking about the relationship with the coaching staff. I definitely would love to have you come back out later on in the season and just kind of talk about like what this recruiting class has meant to you. Maybe we can get a couple of your other recruits to join us and talk about your overall shared experience. But for the most part, this has been John with Cardinal Craze. All right, and go Cards.
Go Cards, baby.
All right. Well,